Pathfinder, you should hold that salute until its return.
Sir, yes, sir.
The purpose of dress right dress is to make sure that the whole club is aligned. Remember that the people in the first row are the ones that's going to stretch out. In case this way, it's going to stretch out from here to here, and you're going to touch it, the fingertip to the shoulder. And everybody else, if your arms are longer, you may have to extend in the back and line up perfectly in the person in front of you. And so that's the one I just kind of want to remind you on doing this. Okay? So we'll try this out. That's right. Dress. Ready. Dress. No foul. That's right. Dress. Steady. Steady. Fourth man. Afterwards. Steady. Ready. Right. Common mistakes is you bring up and then you pull your end this way and you bring it down. But it's a straight up and a straight down. Don't bring it up and go this way, and don't pull it this way and bring it down. But just go 1, 2. Okay? And the people at the corner, right corner, you look straight ahead. Never turn your head. And the person on the last rank, don't lift up your arm. Simply just turn your head.
Dress right, dress!
Oh, medic! Oh, medic!
Drill masters, has this ever happened to you? That's exactly the reason why on dress right dress, when you do that, your arm comes straight up from the side in a swinging fashion. You never bring your arm up and then straight out to avoid insurance problems.
The purpose of what we're going to do next is to be able to move together as a club. And how we're going to do this is the command will be forward, march. Forward march always starts off with what foot?
Left foot, sir.
Left foot first, okay? And then the next command is to halt the club, and I'm going to say, Pathfinders, halt. And after you say the word halt, you take one more extra step, and then you close with a trailing foot right behind it. So it's going to go like this. Left, Pathfinders, halt, 1, 2. Okay? And you stop right there. The hardest thing about this is to make sure that you're stepping 24 inches. However, no club ever marches using 24-inch step. That march you specifically only use when you're doing a parade or like a 1-mile march and you're going for a long distance. What we're going to do now is the regular marching that you normally do in your clubs, lifting your feet 6 inches off the ground. 6 inches off the ground. That's about 6 inches off the ground. So you'll be marching left, left, and you're going to be taking about half steps, half what you were doing there. So instead of marching this way, like we just did, you will be marching like this. You will be marching left, 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 right, left, okay? And that's about the standard way that most clubs march, and that's what we're going to be doing. Pathfinders, at 10, hut! Arms at the side. Don't look at the ground. Look straight ahead. No unnecessary movements. Forward. March. Left, 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 right, left, left. Looking good. Left, left. Lift your feet. Left, 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 right, left, left, left. Pathfinders. Ho! Most common error. Looking at the ground. When you look at the ground, what happens? You get out of step and you get out of line. You need to be looking at the corner of your eyes. Make sure you're looking. Don't look at the ground. It's not going anywhere, okay? Is that understood? Look straight ahead. Make sure you're perfectly lined up and look to the corner of your eyes. So you're looking at the corner of your eyes. Don't turn your head. Just look at the corner of your eyes. Make sure you're lined up with him. And you've got to make sure that you're lined up with her. And you've got to make sure that you're lined up with him. Okay? And you have to make sure that you don't get too far ahead and you're lined up exactly right behind him. Is that understood?
Sir, yes, sir.
Is that understood?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. Pathfinders with 10 hut. Dress right. Dress. Ready. Front. Cover.
To establish your distance, the command is cover. When this command is given, you raise your left hand straight in front of you with your hand straight out, your palm facing down, and typically you'll give 3 to 6 inches of space between your fingers and the shoulders of the person in front of you. Of course, it all depends on how long the arms are of the people next to you, because you do want to end up in a nice straight row. To lower that arm, the command is recover. You all lower your arms together, coming back with your hands curled at the side of your leg without slapping your hand against your pants leg.
Forward. March. Left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left. Watch your lines. Left, 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 right, left, left, left. Pathfinders. Ho!
According to the manual, the command mark time march can only be given while marching, which makes sense. If you want them to mark where they're marching, they have to have already been marching. But you'll find that it's a very easy and useful command to give early on in your training process when your unit is just beginning to learn to march. It allows them to establish their beat, to all get into rhythm, and to make sure their feet are going the right one at the right time. Remember, they always start off with that left foot, and some of them may not have. So giving mark time march at the beginning allows them to do that. Technically, it's not correct, but you'll find a lot of drill instructors use it because it really answers a lot of the problems that they have.
Forward at half step, march. Your left, your left, your left, right, left. Mark time, march.
Oh, ouch. Has this ever happened to you? Trees popping up out of nowhere? An important issue that drill instructors tend to forget is distance. Every now and then, you'll be marching, and a tree, a wall, maybe anything, will pop up, and you can't run into it. So the best thing to do is call a mark time march. Before you hit the tree, you want to keep 3 paces in between, and that prevents the group from running into that.
Route step march is given as either foot strikes the ground. And when the Pathfinders are at route step march, basically they follow in the direction of travel that you're moving, okay, along a road or in a parade or what have you. If you would like to do any flanking movements or other movements like that, you need to bring them back to quick time. The nice thing about route step march is it's a little more relaxed, but the Pathfinders stay in formation and they're quiet. The next command will definitely help you avoid some obstacles while you're drilling and marching. And it's incline to the left or incline to the right. And the actual command is incline left or incline right. However, much like with to the rear, it's much more fluid and it flows easier as you're giving your cadence. Basically, you would give the command incline to the left, march. And it's used to avoid an obstacle right in the direction of travel. The Pathfinders would sidestep around the obstacle and then resume the forward direction once they're past the obstacle.
The next command we're going to do is double time. Double time is done from a marching command, and this is used when we need to get the club in one place to the next. Forward. March. Double time. Double double time, march. Left, 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 right, left, left.
Sometimes you need to move a formation or a unit even a very short distance, and marching them is simply overkill. You only want to move them a foot or two, one direction or the other. To do that, we use a command called steps. The preparatory is simply given to indicate the number of the steps and the direction. The command of execution is the word march. For instance, 3 steps to the left, march. 1 step forward, march. 2 steps to the right, march. 1 step to the rear, march. Now remember, steps to the rear are always taken in half steps. So if you want them to go the same distance back as they came forward, you have to give them twice as many steps. Let's see some examples of this.
3 steps, left step, march. 3 steps to the left, march. 3 steps to the right, march. Ready? Halt. When it is desired to move the formation to the left or right flank for short distances, the command is left or right flank march, where the preparatory command is either left or right flank, and the command of execution is march. The preparatory command is given when the foot of the indicated direction strikes the ground, and the command of execution is given when that foot strikes the ground once again. The pathfinder would then take 1 additional step, turn in the indicated direction, stepping off with the trailing foot.
Left flank, march. 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 Right flank, march. Right flank, march. Right flank, march. Right flank, march. Zip, 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 right, zip. Right flank, march. 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 Right flank, march.
In the Pathfinder organization, we like to use the step turn method, meaning that the trailing foot is the one that is behind the Pathfinder once they've executed the turn. Let's take a look at the preferred method that the Pathfinder clubs tend to use. Left flank, march, step, turn. Now we interpret this as being your trailing foot. So we step off with this foot. Now in some other organizations, or even other Pathfinder clubs, there is the other way, which is what I call the step pivot method. And basically, that's done with the trailing foot being the one that's behind the Pathfinder before you have started the maneuver. Now the other interpretation of the flanking movement is like this. Left flank, march. At this point, this is actually interpreted as your trailing foot. So you would then step off with this foot, not doing the step turn, but more a pivot. You have now seen a couple of different methods to doing the flanking movements. We suggest you pick the best way for your club to do them so they will look sharp as a team. To change the direction of march 90 degrees to the left or right, the command is column left or right march. The preparatory command is given when the foot of the indicated direction strikes the ground. The command of execution is given when that foot strikes the ground once again. This command may be given while marching or from the halt. As well, may be given to a single unit of Pathfinders formed front to back, or a formation of Pathfinder units lined up side by side. Column half left or right may also be given and is executed the same way using a 45-degree turn instead of a 90-degree turn. To execute this column maneuver, the lead Pathfinder in the base unit, that is the unit on the inside of the turn, takes one additional step after the command of execution, turns in the indicated direction by pivoting on the balls of his feet, then stepping off in the new direction with the trailing foot, taking one full step, then assuming half-step march. Each additional Pathfinder in the base unit would continue to march forward, making their turn where their unit leader did, taking one full step in the new direction, then assuming half-step march. Simultaneously, the other unit leaders to the left or right of the base unit execute a 45-degree step turn, pivoting on the balls of their feet and stepping off in the new direction, marching in an arc at full step. When each unit leader comes abreast of the base unit leader, they assume half-step march. This will allow the other unit leaders to the left and right of the base unit to catch up. Once all unit leaders are abreast of each other, they step off together to resume the forward march in the new direction. The remaining Pathfinders in each unit continue marching forward, turn approximately in the same location, and step off in the same manner as the unit leaders. Sometimes it is necessary for the following Pathfinders to adjust their step length so their turn will be in exactly the same spot. To maintain the correct interval and distance, it is also important that each Pathfinder without command visually dress the lines after completion of the column movement. The use of half-step march is simply to allow the other units to complete the maneuver uniformly. If there is only one unit of Pathfinders formed front to back, each Pathfinder would step off after the turn with full steps. Now let's have Manny walk us through it.
Come left, march, step, turn. There you go. Keep on marching forward. Don't stop for him. Nah. Come left, march, step, turn. Come left, march, step, turn. There you go. Keep on marching forward. Don't stop for him. Nah. Come left, march, step, turn. There you go. You got it. Nah. Come left, march, step. Perfect. That's how it's supposed to look. Nah. Come right, march. Come right, march. Excellent. Good job. That's looking good. Nah, couple more. Come right, march. Oblique that. Oblique the turn. Excellent. Good job. One, come right, march, step. One, come right, march, step. Pathfinder, hold.
One of the techniques for helping you to maintain dress and cover while doing a column movement is to give your Pathfinders a pole or guidon or something of this sort while they're marching. And when you call the command, column left or column right march, they will just simply, using the pole, maintain their alignment. Pathfinders, column left, march.
To have your marching unit turn and go in the opposite direction while marching, the command is rear march. Some find it easier to say to the rear march. The proper command is rear march, but if you find that it flows off your tongue easier to say to the rear march, we certainly won't get in your way when you do it. Now let's see as Mr. Rivera walks them through it.
Forward, march. Rear, march. Rear, march. Rear, march.
Both parts parts of the command are called on the right foot. As the command march is called on the right foot, the trailing left foot swings all the way forward, places, and you now pivot 180 degrees to the right, stepping off now with the left foot. One of the most fun parts of drill and marching is to participate in a Pathfinder parade. There are several issues that have to be decided before that parade is formed up, and probably the first and most critical is how many files will there be in each club's column. The most common is a file of 3 or 4 wide. That lets you have several Pathfinders deep and gives you a lot of variety in how many there are. Since most of our clubs are fairly small, that works out quite well. You put your flags out to the front, always remembering to put your American or Canadian or Bermudian flag on the right with other flags to its left. Your banner out in front of the flags, though in some conferences they prefer the banner to be behind the flags. Normally your drill instructor will fall in on the far left side outside of your formation to the rear of the formation so that everyone can hear. Though again, there are areas where they like the drill instructor to fall in on the right side. Guidons can be done in 2 different fashions, across the front row or down the right-hand file. Again, it's your preference. There are 2 specific commands that you need to know to participate in a parade, especially one with a reviewing stand, and those commands are eyes right and ready front, and we'll show those to you now.
What we're going to review this time is your eyes right. Purpose of the eyes right is to make sure that your lines and your ranks are perfectly in line as you pass the review stand. When the command is called, it's going to be, the preparatory command is eyes. And when the command right is called, everybody looks to the right except for the person that is on the right. They look straight ahead, making sure that you're perfectly aligned and perfectly in line. Everybody else is looking towards you. The command to look to the front